Ms. Claudia Kirkpatrick from the Sierra Club Allegheny Group.
Thank you. I'm Claudia Kirkpatrick. I'm a resident of Pittsburgh, and I'm here tonight as the chair of the Sierra Club's local Allegheny Group. We are very pleased that the EPA plans to look at the entire life cycle of the hydrofracking process to ensure the safety of the community and region. This must include makeup of all the frac fluids used in the well so that they can be tested for, the inherent variety of frac jobs, procedures for on-site storage of the chemicals before and after a frac job is completed, migration of frac fluids to underground or above ground water sources, seasonal differences in groundwater activity that could adversely affect such migration, various timelines for how slowly or quickly such chemicals may move, where fracking fluids produced in flowback water, drilling muds, and other wastes are disposed of, and the impacts of disposal decisions, including re-injection of disposal wells, pits, and treatment facilities. Transport of frac water off-site to treatment facilities, recycling and purification opportunities, worst-case scenarios for well casing failures or other major spills. Our drinking water comes from multiple sources, including naturally flowing streams, reservoirs where chemicals may concentrate, and underground sources like aquifers that stretch for hundreds of miles across state lines. We are therefore very pleased that the EPA plans to examine sources of drinking water, including both rural users of well water and urban users of treated water. We also want to make certain that the EPA studies cumulative aspects. To date, the state DEP has issued thousands of permits for wells in the Marcellus Shale, and thousands more are planned. This study needs to go on for a number of years. Thank you.
Next, number 63, Ms. Terry Davin from the Friends of Dunker Creek.
Hello, my name is Terry Davin. I'm from Greene County, Pennsylvania, and almost a year ago, Greene County was dealt a great environmental disaster. 43 stream miles of Dunker Creek were poisoned. And as a result, thousands of fish, mussels, snails, and all other aquatic life are dead. They were decaying along the banks of a once vibrant stream. Dunker Creek survived barely a century of rubid-colored coal extraction and currently wall mining. But with the help of watershed groups, sportsmen's clubs, and volunteers from the local community, it has endured. But in less than 9 short years of the 21st century, it was murdered by the new age of energy. Toxic byproducts of the natural gas drilling industry, both coal bed methane and Marcellus waste. The poisoning of this stream was a crime against our water supply and our community that will have long-term economic, social, and environmental repercussions for generations to come. But for now, what are we, as well as our nation, willing to sacrifice for energy? Will it be our children or our elderly next? Rotting, decaying corpses of dead fish laid testament to the lack of enforcement by state and federal agencies to protect Greene County citizens and our water supply. How many times does our county have to be disrespected, violated, and our quality of life diminished by industrial acts that harm the very people that rely on the Monongahela River for their drinking water? When will the citizens from all over Southwest PA and the Commonwealth demand from our local, state, and federal lawmakers the environmental protection we deserve to live a quality life free from the harmful impacts of energy extraction? And I'd just like to say, US EPA, welcome to the party. We've been waiting for you.
Good evening. After a year-long statewide study, the League of Women Voters of Pennsylvania adopted a position that supports maximum protection of public health and environment in all aspects of Marcellus Shale production. Considerable information developed by that study is available to the EPA study on our website. Delegates to our recent national convention unanimously adopted a resolution to support state drilling and mining practices. These industries must not be exempt from federal
extraction and to ensure that America's and Pennsylvania's drinking water is safe. Industry loves to claim that in 60 years of hydraulic fracturing, no known contamination of groundwater has occurred. What first needs to be made clear is that the risk to ground and surface water occurs not just during the very specific process of hydraulic fracturing, but also during the larger process of gas extraction and development. Thus, I urge you to expand the scope of the study in order to include the entire life cycle of gas extraction in the study. The study should also track all potential pollution pathways. Hydraulic fracturing fluids, as well as produced and flowback water, can contaminate surface waters and groundwater in a variety of ways, through the casings, at the wellheads, or from surface impoundments. We've seen examples of this here in Pennsylvania, as you've heard tonight. One example is last September, Pennsylvania DEP ordered one gas drilling company to stop drilling after it spilled roughly 8,000 gallons of dangerous drilling fluids near Denver, Pennsylvania, killing fish and wildlife in the area. EPA study must look at the cumulative impacts of this gas extraction, including water consumption and contamination, wastewater disposal, air pollution, waste management failures, and the effects of thousands of new roads, well pads, and pipelines needed for extraction that can cross very tight residential areas. As thousands of wells are drilled in a gas shale play and millions of gallons of wastewater are used, the cumulative impacts for a region need to be examined. Penn Environment believes that any drilling that takes place must protect the public health, our drinking water sources, and our rich natural heritage for future generations of Pennsylvanians. If the gas drilling industry isn't willing to do this of their own accord, and we've seen a pretty shameful track record so far, the responsibility falls to our local, state, and federal officials to do so, and I hope your study reflects this sentiment. Thank you very much.
It burns. You've heard everyone here tonight. The evidence is there, the impacts are real. This process is not safe. However, before the fire brigades can be deployed, everyone's standing around looking at you saying, will Rome burn? Is it flammable? All you have to do is say, yes, it is, and the fire brigades will be deployed. But there's another group of people standing around saying, I don't believe it, they're lying, there is no fire, show me the evidence. In fact, I'm not going to believe it until you show me a detailed peer-reviewed study of every single combustion reaction for every single compound in the wood. However, I've looked at your conceptual model and the case study prioritization that you all want to do. They look good. They look great. Most of the problems are on your radar. However, I don't want to see the results in 2012 when half of Rome is in embers. I want to see them now. Change your process. The evidence is available. We've heard it all tonight. Take 1 month, summarize it, release a report saying that the public health risks of hydrofracturing are unacceptably high and a moratorium should be imposed until it is proven it can be done safely without all of the impacts that have already been discussed tonight. Then, do all the detailed work that you've been planning. It looks great. I'd just like to add a few things to your work plan. Expand considerations beyond just drinking water. I'm hugely concerned about drinking water, but food security is also important. Consider pollution impacts on our farms and wildlife. Air quality is also a huge concern. Most of the problematic compounds found in raw gas and oil are volatile, so they go into the air. So please expand that. And many of the health problems that people have observed have come from airborne exposures. Thank you very much.